everyone, today I'm here to share with you some of my favorite summer reads or my summer reading recommendations. Every season I like to do a recommendations read. So for spring, summer, and fall, I kind of match the season with the books that I talk about. So obviously spring and summer are my big contemporary times. That is when I read the most contemporary books. Spoiler warning, I do love YA contemporaries, adult contemporaries, I just love all contemporaries, but mostly, and I read them a lot in general, but in spring and summer, it's like up a notch. I read a ton of them. So all the books I'm mentioning today are going to be contemporary books, like lighthearted, summery books that are just not a ton of depth to them, just books that you can take out with you wherever you go this summer, whether it be to the beach, to the pool, to the lake, just out and about on a road trip, things like that. The books that I want to recommend to you that I think will be great for the summertime. As always, I'm going to link all of my previous summer reads videos down below because I have done quite a few of them. Let's get into it because I have a lot of cutesy, fluffy books to recommend. What else is new? I want to recommend Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. This is Casey West's newest book. If you didn't know, Casey West is a YA contemporary author, and she writes literally very cutesy, fluffy books that are just like you can just eat them up like cotton candy. I love all of her books. I think you could pick any one of them, honestly, and it'd be a great summer book, but this is her recent release, and I think it is perfect for summer. It's all about this girl that kind of lives by the lake, and she gets involved in this podcasting class, and she actually becomes a host for this podcast, and it's like kind of got like a little bit Sleepless in Seattle because a person calls for advice, like much like Sleepless in Seattle, but either way, it's an adorable book that you can literally fly through like in a day. Like, trust me, if you take this somewhere in the morning and you really read it all day, you will be done with it by the end of the night. Trust you me. It's cutesy, adorable, perfect for summer. It wouldn't be a summer video if I did not recommend Sarah Destin. Sarah Destin is another YA contemporary author that I think is just an amazing summer one at that. Any one of her books would be great in the summertime, but the two I always recommend, I think, that are perfect really for summer are Along for the Ride. It's about this girl that kind of has insomnia, so she stays up all night in like her beachy town, and she meets another guy and things ensue from there. It's adorable. And the other one is The Truth About Forever. It's about a girl that just recently lost her dad, and she's really not having a great summer. She's stuck working in the library. Her boyfriend has gone to brain camp, and then she randomly gets this job with a catering company and meets a whole new slew of friends, and it's just adorable. Both of these, again, you could take with you in the morning, finish them at night. They're just adorable, cutesy reads. Sarah Destin is known for that, so would recommend both of them. Then I have 9 Nights and 9 Days by, 9 Days and 9 Nights. I know how to say things, by Katie Catagno. This is actually the sequel to 99 Days, so I would like to recommend to you both of them. 99 Days is the first book in this series. It's about a girl named Molly Barlow who comes back home, and it's not a warm welcome. She's done a lot of things that she regrets, and so it's told literally in 99 days. This book is a sequel, so it follows 9 Days and 9 Nights, and either way, both of those books are very, very short books, very books that you can fly through. I would recommend reading the first book, 99 Days, before you dive into this one. I think, honestly, you could probably read both of them in one day, in like 2 days max, I honestly think, so would recommend both of those. Katie Catagno just also writes kind of lighthearted, fluffy books that are just easy to fly through, much like a lot of these books I'm talking about. I have two really, really recent releases, and that is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. Morgan Matson is, again, you guessed it, a very well-known YA contemporary author. Are we sensing a trend here? Her latest book, and it's about a girl named Charlie who has 4 older siblings, and her oldest sister comes home. Family comes all back home because her oldest sister is getting married, and she's getting married at the house. And this book is all about family. It's all about hijinks that comes with wedding planning, and it is a book that where, like, if there's a situation that can go wrong, it'll go wrong. Like, the dog eats the cake, the power goes out, you know, it's like kind of pitfall after pitfall, like a lot of wedding classic movies where it's just constantly things going wrong. But either way, I did enjoy it. A little bit of a lengthier one, so it will take a little bit of time to get through, but just the family aspect and the wedding aspect I think are great to make it a summer read. Other recent release that just came out is From Twinkle with Love by Sanan Menon. Again, adorable one. This is about Twinkle, who wants to become a director, and so she directs this film for her school, and she falls in love with this boy, but she maybe likes his twin brother, and it's just an adorable book. Very, very short, easy to fly through. This one will make you smile and gush, and also it's told like she writes, the way it's told is she writes letters to her favorite filmmakers like Sofia Coppola, Nora Ephron, so I really enjoyed it for that as well. I have Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. This was released last year and I loved it. This is kind of a YA version of You've Got Mail, and so adorable. So that's how I'm going to pitch it to you. I don't want to say too much about it. It's about this girl named Bailey who is a film buff, and she meets a guy online, and then somehow they meet in real life, but they don't know it. The classic You've Got Mail thing. It's told in this really cool, small California town where it's like surfing and all the other things. Like, I think if I would go to this town, I'd probably just want to live there forever. But seriously, this is a great summer read. Would highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of You've Got Mail. I can't be the only one that loves that movie. Like, such a great movie. Last YA book that I want to recommend, because I do have a few adult books that I want to talk about, is Little Do We Know by Tamar Ireland Stone. This is another recent release, and this one, I think, is the most serious out of all the books that I talked about, but I still think it's a great summer read because you can fly through it, and it's one of those quiet type of books, and I love those quiet books where there's not like a ton of plot or a ton of romance going on, but it's just a lot of character growth. I adore those books, and this one is just that. It's about these two girls, Hannah and Emery, who are next door neighbors and best friends, or should I say ex-best friends. Something's happened to them this year. You have to figure out why, and basically it's just kind of unfolding both of their lives and what happened to them. I love this book. Was very surprised by how much I loved it, but like I said, I think it's a summer read because you can read it fast, even though it's almost 400 pages. Quite a lengthy YA contemporary, but still loved every second of it. 3 adult books that I want to recommend to you in case you don't want YA. Here's some adult books that I think are perfect for summer. Kiss Quotant by Quotant. I always feel like I say that wrong, by Helen Huang. This is an adult book, and when I say adult, I mean like steamy times, seriously. So if you're younger, please be aware of that, because there's a lot of sexual scenes in this book. Let me just say that. This is all about a girl named Stella who has Asperger's, and she's really unfamiliar and not very, you know, comfortable with the idea of sexual things, so she hires a male escort to kind of teach her those things, and you can guess where the plot's gonna go from there. I adored it. It's been getting a ton of hype, but goodness gracious, it was amazing. Again, you could read this book in a day for sure. And the other, you know, kind of cutesy, really lovey-dovey adult book is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is quite a longer novel. Like, this is like 400 pages. Said it's a cutesy, lovey-dovey romance about these two people that fall in love, but then we kind of go forward in time and you learn that they are broken up and you're trying to figure out what had happened to them. It's told in alternating timelines, but goodness gracious, it was like the first loves reunite, and it was so swoon-worthy. This has some adult times in it, not nearly as much as this one. I just want to fully tell everyone about situations, because you never know sometimes when you go into books. The adult book that I want to recommend to you, actually want to recommend an audiobook, and that is My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know how much I love Sophie Kinsella. She is an adult chick lit author, and you know how much I love her audiobooks. I always listen to her books via audio. I never physically read them because the audiobooks are just so funny, so charismatic, and so witty. So I'd recommend, if you are taking a road trip this summer, if you're just going anywhere, like I said, to the beach, pool, wherever you go, pop in your headphones and listen to a Sophie Kinsella book. Any book will do. The one I want to recommend to you is My Not So Perfect Life. It got released last year. It's great. It's about this girl that gets fired from her job, or laid off, I should say. Then she goes into helping her dad open this glamping business. It's hilarious. So funny. I also really enjoy I've Got Your Number, but you can't go wrong with a Sophie Kinsella audiobook. Believe you me. So there you have it. Those are all of the summer reads that I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this and got some good summer recommendations. So tell me what books you like to read in the summer. Do you like to read lighthearted, fluffy things much like myself? Or do you like fantasy and darker books during the summer? Everyone has different tastes, and that's totally okay. But either way, I hope you got something out of this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.